Episode 3. Moving up in the world again of the SRP, the SCAV Report podcast. Here with the 3J Gamer. I got it right.
Nailed it. It's because it's episode 3.
Nailed it because it's episode 3. We're getting into it. We're going to be talking about a topic here that I feel is really in the wheelhouse of my co-host, James. Realism in video games.
Yeah, but it's on the opposite side.
It's okay, though. It's okay. We have to have both sides of the story to make this interesting. Can't just have the Jedi without the Sith. It doesn't work. You need both.
I'm about to go Skip Bayless on you.
You need both.
My old wisdom. You
need both, man. You need both. I'll we'll just kind of go with...
Oh, yeah! Woo-hoo!
See, give us some cheering in there.
Woo! You like that, baby?
Play more where that came from, yeah! All right. We're bringing sound effects into this, people. This is a real production, okay? We're getting into it now. I gotta go like pull a bunch of the Tarkov sound effects. So like I can hit
that'd be cool. Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to pull some of that stuff. But the reason why we want to get into this is because actually Veritas and Jesse Kazam, I don't know what he really goes by. I actually had this same conversation and I was super intrigued by it because I had never really thought hard on the topic of realism in video games. Because honestly, I have played a hardcore fantasy game in World of Warcraft where realism is thrown out the door. I fly on dragons, I have magical powers, and I'm an elf to begin with.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You know, there's nothing here that's going to ever come into the realm of realism. And then I played Call of Duty, which again, I don't even try to think is real. It's an arcade shooter. And if everyone's going to give me hate for that's out there, no, it's an arcade shooter. I'm a fanboy of the game, and it's an arcade shooter at the end of the day.
Every year some political person is trying to bring it in. Oh, it's too realistic.
No, it's an arcade shooter at best, man. So coming from those worlds, and then us diving into this thing known as Tarkov, where we are starting to get into the realism of games. And I'll say my first venture into realism of games was actually sim racing. So like I went from the Need for Speed games, the arcade style games, and slowly progressed into, it's sitting over here next to me, the cockpit and driving, simulation games where I'm really trying to get as close as I can to driving a real car around a track, knowing that I'm sitting in my living room looking at my TV through a plastic steering wheel. Like we have to take that into consideration of where you are. I'm not actually driving a car. But Sony proved, and they did this through their series where they took gamers that were the best at GT, I want to say it was like 3 or 4 or 5, something that was out around that time, and turned them into race car drivers. And actually, they're actually pretty good. So the simulation was very close. In a racing game, I can see where we can do that. You have the courses, you laser map them, you have the cars, you know how they're going to react. Like even the top end race car drivers use simulators to learn tracks and things like that.
I mean, Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Flight Simulator. All of these things. So there's these things around that. But you're talking about very dialed in mechanical things that we know a ton about. And we can make an assumption of how they're going to react because we've done it in the real world. And we've studied it. And we take a car and we crash it into a wall and we see what happens. We get another car and we crash it into a wall and we see what happens. But now we're getting into this thing of realism in first-person shooters and survival games, where I think I would go to jail if I lined up a bunch of people and shot them in the leg to see what would happen and continue to do it over. I think it's banned by now. Like, at some point in time, we probably did this, but right now we're not doing it. So, realism in video games, specifically Escape for Tarkov, and what I would consider to be a survival first-person shooter. What does it really mean? And what are we trying to get out of it? What does it mean to be real in these games?
I mean, I do like the fact that all the guns, the attachments, the ammo, as far as I'm aware, I don't own a gun. I've never even shot a gun in real life. A flare gun. I don't think that counts though.
They're pretty powerful.
Yeah, you kill somebody with those for sure. I think that's the realism side of things. But then it's just, you see people go on these tangents of like, that's not real. Either they're arguing that it's not real because they're trying to prove a point to people that act like it's real, or they're upset that it's not more realism as far as like bullet drop and how the actual ammo would work. And like, just because this gun is 70% durability, it's jamming up now. Like, they lose their mind over it. They're like, that's not how this gun would act in real life.
Well, so funny that you bring up like the durability thing. Like this is we'll start here. Because I actually did read a tweet. I'm not gonna say who it came from. Like, I don't want to start anything there. Like, we were just getting started. Let's not like get a bunch of heat on us right off the bat. But they were complaining about that exact thing of like the repair on a gun or one of the guns in the game of like, let's say we hit 60%. If they were like, you should be jamming once every 14 bullets because you're at 70% durability of this and blah, blah. Like, and they were just going on all of these things of how this should work.
Yeah.
Okay. I have been around firearms a lot throughout my life. I have never picked up a weapon and was like, well, this is at 70% durability. You don't know. You have no idea in real life if the firing pin inside of this gun is bent unless I disassemble and field strip this entire weapon and inspect it. I've also seen torture tests. Go look them up on YouTube, where they are dragging weapons through dirt, mud, thousands upon thousands of rounds, you know, especially like AK durability tests. Like AK, if you're don't know, AKs are super durable guns. Like, they're simple, they work. That are shooting thousands and thousands of rounds, no problem. And then you go have another durability test where they drop it in some water and it doesn't work anymore. Like, there's no set like, this is going to degrade at this rate. Like, you don't know when X is going to break in your gun. So, like, to think in your mind that is realism. No, that is a video game mechanic.
It's to push the game along.
Yeah, it's a video game mechanic to simulate a moment in a game that's going to feel like realism. So there is nothing worse in my mind. I have never been, knock on wood, pray to whoever your God is. I have never been in a firefight. I've never had to fight someone with a weapon, a gun, or anything like that. My best friend is a police officer. He has had to. He has told me after that happened to him that the worst thing in the world was when his gun went click and nothing happened. because he ran out of bullets or something broke and he didn't know what happened and he's in the middle of a gunfight.
Also, he couldn't just hit L and inspect his weapon.
He couldn't hit L and inspect it. Like, he couldn't hit reload automatically and it just did it for him. Like, he had to remember to do this in real life with bullets flying around him and everything there. But that's what the game, in my opinion, is trying to simulate. That moment of nervousness, which this durability mechanic in the game, not real life, is trying to simulate of your gun might go click. And when it goes click, you're going to have to figure out how to repair it in the middle of a fight.
Or run. Which is what I did.
Hide behind a tree. Do all of these other things that you have. But you're not, that's not real. Like, you can't just walk up to the gun and be like, well, let me hit my inspect button here. And yep, we're at 70% durability. And let me go get my repair kit and repair this bad boy. Actually, that's more realistic than anything else. I actually do have like a kit that can help me fix my gun.
Well,
I don't have like a trainer to go pay to like repair it for.
Well, I was thinking about jumping out of my window here on the second floor and see if I break my leg, because I can just pull out my CMS kit and repair it in 30 seconds.
Yeah, well, so here again.
So that's what drives me nuts. Is the same guy complaining that the gun portion of it is not realistic enough. Oh, this is ridiculous. This is not how it is in real life. They're completely okay with the fact that they can repair themselves in 30 seconds. Not only that, they're now bitching that it takes 30 seconds to fix their fractured leg in the middle of a firefight.
Yeah, so it flips to the other side. So the interesting part about that is when you bring in these real mechanics, please, people out there, remember, it's a game. It's as real as they can make it to give you the feeling, but still move the game along. So could you imagine, and we'll use your scenario, what really would happen? Let's say I happen to take a bullet to the leg and it breaks my femur. Real life would dictate that I am going to be laying on the ground, writhing in pain, waiting for a medic, hoping I don't get shot, to put me on a stretcher, carry me out of whatever battlefield I happen to be on, hoping that the medic doesn't get shot and I don't get shot and killed. And then I'm going to be set up in rehab for 6 to 8 months just to heal. Then I'm going to have to go through all the rehabilitation that I need to rebuild my leg up for the next 6 to 8 months. Like, do you really want to, like, you take one bullet to the leg and have a year out of the game?
For a year?
Yeah. You no longer get to play this game for an entire year and a half or 6 months because you broke your leg in the game. And that's how long it's going to take you.
I'm going to tell you right now, if the game moves to that and we're out, your character's out 6 to 8 months, I'm not carrying you out.
No, I'm not. I'm letting you die.
I'm leaving you there.
Yeah.
You're on your own.
And that same, like, that's the same guy that's complaining about all this stuff. It's like, no, it's a video game. So we have to move the game along. We have to give you mechanics in the game that make it playable and enjoyable. Now, I think there are some things that we can, like, that are a little overkill. That I don't really like in the game, because I think it does take away from the, how do I say it the right way? Not the realism of the fight, but the pressure of the fight, the feeling of the fight, the nervousness I have in the fight. And the one thing in Tarkov that I don't like are the stims and the medicine. One, because I don't think it improves the game at all, and it is so completely unrealistic. Completely.
It just becomes a crutch. It literally becomes to the point that you have to
pre-use it.
If you think you're going to get in a fight, you use it before.
You use it before. There is no way in hell that I'm going to pop some ibuprofen. I'm going to pop some ibuprofen and be able to run on a broken leg. Okay?
There's no punishment for
There
using
isn't.
multiple meds either.
There isn't. And then there's like, I'm gonna bust out my lip balm, put some lip balm on, and now I'm gonna be able to run on a broken leg because I feel good. Like, okay, I get what you were trying to go for here, but I think if you get into a gunfight in Escape from Tarkov and someone breaks your leg, you should have to hobble behind some cover to be able to get behind it. But here's where Tarkov has gotten wrong and where the realism goes away, and the reason why we have the lip balm. The weapons, I mean, I'm going to get some heat on this one. The weapons are too accurate. I'm sorry. If you are 75 yards away, I'm sorry, 70 meters away. I'm American, I think, in yards. 70 meters away. You are not hitting a sprinting, moving target in real life. There is no realism there. And because the guns are so accurate that you can one-tap somebody from across the fucking map in the head with just like, oh, pop, I'm done, and drop them, dude, that's where you've lost it. If you just change that mechanic and make the guns less accurate, add some sway into them. Like, and I know you haven't done this, but a lot of people may have. And if you get the opportunity, pick up a rifle with a scope on it. What I have right here, this thing right here. Pick one up, holding a 4 to 5 pound weapon in your arms. Steady that reticle that you're looking through this piece of glass. Steady that dot on somebody a football field away, while panning and leading them while they're walking at a slow pace. You're not hitting them. You're not. Your best shooters in the world are making those shots. So you could do that. Now, does that make it fun for everybody? Probably not. Is there a balance you could do that? But that's where you can balance the game. We can make gunfights become fun again by making it a little bit harder to hit these shots from super far away, but also making the overall accuracy a little bit tougher. And then when we're close to battle, when I do blow out an arm or I do blow out a leg, I have the opportunity to get behind a tree. I have the opportunity to use the med kits the way they were supposed to be used.
Yeah.
Do you ever heal during a fight?
Not very often, because I'm going to die if I stop.
You're either dead or the fight's over with and you heal hiding in a corner. You put your arm back together, hiding in a corner. You put your leg back together, hiding in a corner.
Yeah.
Could you imagine having these gunfights now, because accuracy is not as good, or the bullets that we are so adamant about being realistic don't pen as hard as they normally do, or don't hit as hard, so it takes a couple more bullets to drop somebody.
So now I have the time.
So now I have the time to do these things. And that, again, you heard me complain about this in Call of Duty. Time to kill. The faster that time to kill gets, the worse the game ends up getting. Because you get farther and farther away from the realism we're trying to get, which is that feeling of I'm going to die. We are all screwed in the head that we like to play games that make us feel like we're going to die and we can get out of it. But honestly, my experience in Tarkov is exactly the same that I get in Call of Duty. If I see them first, I kill them. If they see me first, they kill me. That's it. I don't have the chance to make a play. I don't have a chance to recover. And if anybody wants to tell me I'm full of shit on that, go watch some YouTube videos of real live battle. You know what those guys do? They pop up, they shoot off a couple of rounds real quick, and they drop back down. They didn't just hit 17 people out there in the headshot. They're just laying down cover hoping that they can find another way to flank or move or anything like that. Like that's a real firefight. I'm gonna go pop, pop, pop. Wait.
But if it was
pop,
so
pop,
inaccurate,
wait.
I mean, I'm gonna be a little bit against you here. If it's so inaccurate, it's not gonna be fun. Like,
No,
I'm
I agree with you. I'm not saying like, I'm just saying right now, time to kills are too fast, and I shouldn't be able to one tap somebody 300 meters away as easy as I can.
well, the time
Dude,
to kill really is
I hit
affected
a
based on the ammo you have.
526 yard shot on a scav up a hill in this game with no problem with a low powered LPVO scope on my gun. You were there when it happened. It should never have happened. I shouldn't have been able to hit that shot. So you shouldn't be able to one tap someone 300 yards away. You should have to be closer to them, and the fights need to get more up front, and they need to be less real on how fast these bullets kill.
Well, then you lose your snipers.
No, you don't. So here's how you play in the snipers. Drop him in the leg. Now he's hobbling and he's got to go find a place to hide. I should be able to hit that follow-up shot. I should be able to hit you twice as a sniper. Now, if I'm a sniper and I can hit the shot from 300, 400 yards away, I should be rewarded with dropping you in one shot. But it shouldn't be that easy to do.
Yeah, I do agree. It is.
I mean,
I'll be in a full sprint, running across the field, and next thing you know, I'm dead.
If a guy's laying down or prone, like looting somebody, and you lined up the shot, held your breath, pulled the trigger, and hit him, and you had your laser telling you how far away it was. Like think of all the things. Like go read any sniper book that's out there, what it takes to be like an actual sniper for realism. Let's not go there. That would make the game not fun. 100% not fun. What I'm saying is, if I'm going to take a bolt action rifle out in there into Tarkov, I'm already at a disadvantage. I'm already straight in a disadvantage. I have to reload through a bolt action each time. When I pull the trigger, it's got a lot of recoil, so I come off. It does a great job there. And I have to reline the shot up. I'm also slower. And if I'm taking a secondary weapon with him, I got to swap to the secondary with him. My problem is guys bringing in DMRs, designated marksmanship rifles, or rifles that are shooting, M80 rounds, that are shooting those at 300, 400, 500 yards, just taking 3 or 4 shots at people because it has zero recoil.
Yeah.
But all you would have to do is actually add the sway. So that's what you add to the game. When you have to hold these, you don't just hold your breath and it balances.
I mean, that's
moves.
a lot of backlash coming at you.
There is, but
and the game they're backlashing over the event, losing to traders in the flea market.
Yeah,
they lose their mind.
I'm just trying to bring to, like, when you're talking about realism in a game, let's only talk about the things that bring us to what we really want from the game, and that's that feeling that we get of when we're in a fight. Everyone wants that great content where you turn around and, like, think about the YouTube clip that you have if you blew a leg out, got behind, used my med kit, healed back up, got back into the fight with my guys. We went back and forth for like 2 minutes in this fight, and I happened to drop the other 2 players. That is so much more fun than I took 2 steps, got head eyes from across the map again. What am I going to do? Like, come on. Now, I don't know where Nikita wants to take the game. I don't know where people would be on that. But I think there is some balancing that needs to be done in the way that the time to kills are here when you're talking about realism. Now, I will be on the opposite side of things when it comes to, like, the medical kits.
Well, I
I'm
think
fine
there should
with
be. Yeah, well, I mean, with the medicine and stuff, the injectables and the pills.
Take them out of the game.
either take them out of the game, or there should be some sort of. I think it would be really cool if they added some sort of
significant
addiction. Like your character could get addicted to it, and it's a lingering. If not, I can just go back to my hideout, hit my grizzly pack, and heal all. No, I mean like a lingering effect, and the more I continue to keep using it, not only do they become less effective, but it starts to affect maybe the cost of things is more now. Maybe it's addicted, and I can't. I have some sort of thing. I mean, I really don't know where you take that, but I think some sort of addiction.
How could it be like?
Really cool.
How about something as simple as it's just harder to get? There's less of them. So if you do have one, you did find it.
You take it off the flea market then?
Take it off the flea market, make it 10 times harder to find. So if you do have one, it gives you that advantage. But most people aren't fighting with them at that point.
Yeah, I mean, we can say that, but there's always ways to farm things, right? So
sure, but I mean,
once
like drop rates
video comes out, there I'll find them.
But drop rates are drop rates, dude. Like I played World of Warcraft, all about drop rates. If you have a 3% drop rate, it's a 3% drop rate. Like yeah, someone might sit there and farm that thing for hours, but if there's no flea market to sell it on, like you can't sell it on the flea market, who gives a shit? It's just one person.
Yeah.
And not everybody's going to take that time to sit there and farm, the ibuprofen, or the lip balm. You're not going to get that. But if I do get it, it gives me that, I have something that could really help me in this fight. Like now I can actually feel comfortable going into dorms. Like I put a little lip balm on and I'm ready to go. Not many people walk into dorms that way, and that could be the start of a different kind of movie, but we're not going to get into that. So anyway, realism in games, at the end of the day, what is your final word on them? What if you're going to give someone that's coming into Tarkov, let's go back to Tarkov here, and they want to understand, what does realism mean in Tarkov? What would you tell them to end this off?
I mean, I would say if that's your thing, the guns, attachments, all that stuff, you can really get into the way you build the guns, the way they work, the different types of ammo. I think they do a good job with that. It's so realistic that, I mean, you can look up real life stuff and kind of get an idea of what's going on. I think that's really cool. But at the end of the day, it is a video game. And if it doesn't have that video game mechanic side of things, you're in a very slow grind.
Agreed. I think what I would bring to the game, when you come to escape from Tarkov and you're coming from other games, look for that gut wrenching, I don't want to lose this loot that I have or this quest item that I've got. I need to extract and get out of here. That is the realism of the game. That is the feeling you get when you're playing that you don't get from any other game.
Yeah, the moment to moment.
The moment, like there is nothing better than when, and I go back to customs is always a great thing. Like every time I gotta cross dorms and we're going through the back side of dorms, it is like, okay, if I get past here, I get over the road, like I know where guys are going to be and where they could come from, but if I get past here, the SCAV boat could be open. Like the fire could be there, it could be open, I can get over there and we'll be good. I'll get out of here, I'll be done. Like that intensity that you're looking for in the game is there.
It's still there.
Don't get hung up on the whole, like, well, this bullet doesn't drop that way, or this bullet doesn't do this, or that doesn't do this, or all of those other things. Just take the moment to moment in the game. And if I could ask the devs to give us something back, which would be, let's get more of the beginning, what I think is going to be the beginning of a wipe feel to the game, where people don't have the greatest gear. You're not getting one tapped and you probably have longer fights than what we've ever experienced. And I don't know that until we wipe and we start over again, because we came mid-wipe. So it might be something we experience in the beginning of the games where no one has any good gear and any good bullets, and they can't make them, and they're not just farming, rogues on Lighthouse to get everything that they want. Let's have some more of those moments in the game.
Yeah, I agree.
And feel that. And if you really want to know, we kind of had the same talk about the whole event that went on in our last podcast, but that event made things feel a lot more realistic. You got to worry about everything that's out there and all of the stuff that you've got on, and you don't want to lose it. You don't want to do those things, and you got that gut-wrenching feeling. So that's all that we've got for today. Again, I am Ender_TV at Twitch. You can catch me there. You can also, the co-host over here, Mr. James, you can find him at twitch.tv/the3jgamer. And if you're interested in any of our other content, you can find it, especially podcasts. We have a couple out there: anime podcast, horror movie podcast. We've got one for Parents versus Gamers. I really recommend that one. Those guys are doing a killer job. It's been out there for over a year. Check it out. Just search any of your podcast platforms for Last Choice Network, and you'll see them all there, including this one. Also, if you want some YouTube videos of the content that we're bringing, the things we're talking about here, and more breakdowns, live gameplay, we're trying that out. We got a couple of it. You can hear us actually talking and playing in these games, and we're throwing up some of that, playing poorly, but we're getting there, man.
Hey, we're new. We're still new.
You can check out the SCAV report on YouTube. You can also check out my YouTube channel there. I am Ender_TV has the full broadcast there as well. Got anything else for anyone, James? Anything else to say?
Just for me, if you're interested in, I play a lot of Tarkov, a lot of first-person shooters, but I've got this fancy Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh my goodness! If you're watching this on YouTube and you're seeing the video, I am sorry that you have experienced this. We might have to do an entire episode of me just venting on how stupid this thing is.
So I use the Azeron Cyborg keypad. It's absolutely incredible, especially if you're coming from console gaming. They like to make fun of me. They're just haters. They're haters. They want to use an ancient keyboard that was never intended for video games. Here we are, all excited about our fancy SCUF controller.
No, I have a keyboard that is designed around video games.
No, it's not. No, stop it.
Yes.
Stop it. No, this thing is the evolution of a keyboard for gaming. And just stop being a hater. That's all it comes down to. You're just a hater. So if you want to see some gameplay,
that's all I can say is nothing here.
Come to Twitch. I'll talk to you guys about it. It's definitely, and I will say this, for a console player that really struggles trying to use mouse and keyboard, it really is, honestly, it is a lifesaver. If you are an old school keyboard and mouse player, of course you're probably not going to like it. But for a console player to have this little just moving around left joystick, it's a lifesaver. Plus you've got all the buttons there for your fingers. It's great. And then because at least I will say this, if you're a controller only player, using the mouse is easy. Like, you want to talk about cheating in video games and shooters, that mouse is a cheat. I'll tell you that right now. Versus my right thumb moving my aim stick around. But it really is good for console gamers. So true. But yeah, so if you're interested in that, come by, I'll tell you all about it. Got an unboxing video coming up on my YouTube channel. And that's it. Just want to have good raids.
So if you want to watch James play with his taint tickler, you can come check it out. This podcast is not just made for children. It's not. I don't have anything else to say. We're out of here. I can't with this guy anymore. See you guys later.
Later.